on Yelp. Pull up all these pictures and you're like, oh, that's the dessert you're eating? All right, Michelle. That's the candle? Okay, that's the same candle. I know where you're at.
45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour. Wait, can you run that long? No offense.
That's how I got married, dog. You know, my first date, bro.
Was that what you did?
Yeah, my first date with her.
And look at
I think a guy's more comfortable being alone than a girl, but I mean, that's a whole
you
nother
think so?
First and foremost, welcome to the Men Don't Know podcast. I'm the man of many friends, your host and creator, Chris Boone. And here on the podcast, we talk with a bunch of guys. We ask a bunch of women questions over wine and cocktails. Now, whether you're listening to it on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Pandora, YouTube, Audible, you downloaded that Men Don't Know podcast app. I can't thank y'all enough. Merch store is open as always, but hit me up on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1, shoot me an email, Chris at mendontknow.com, or hop on the mendontknow.com website and shoot me a message. Coy, my guy, how are we living?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Question of the day: how long did it take you to get back to your old self after that breakup? And I guess the idea is a lot of times when we get into relationships, we lose ourselves. I feel like, Coy. And I think when you, quote unquote, when you leave that relationship, it's going to take some time to get back to the old you. Mm-hmm. If you weren't trying to get back to your old you while you were in that relationship too. You know, I will, you know, we can kind of leave my personal experience to last, but I would tell you honestly, I don't think I got back to myself. I would probably tell you it took me a year. I would probably tell you it took me a full year kind of to get back to me and who I was. It like kind of like in retrospect of, not to say that you aren't you, but the idea of, you know, a breakup, like, you know, there's no better workout regimen or diet pill, or I'm trying to tell you, a heartbreak beats Ozempic. A heartbreak get you back in your bag. Like, I remember I was seeing this meme on Instagram, Coy, and the guy said out he found out, I think he said he found out his girlfriend was cheating on him, so he left her. He said nothing gets you feeling better and gets you back on your shit than the gym and 1,000 milligrams of test every week. I said,
that's just as bad as
easy, bro.
The breakup gets you back naturally, though.
Yeah, but he had it. Yeah, he bought he turned his whole garage into a gym and hopped on 1,000 milligrams of test weekly. I said, buddy, yeah.
Is that necessary?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I'm no doctor, but I don't know if that's like not even necessary. I don't even know if you should be doing that. But all in all, let's call some people. Who am I calling first? I'm calling Jack first. Where is he at? Jack. Here he is. And let's call Jack first. I figure I want to get a guy, most importantly, and then two women.
Hello?
Jack, my guy, how we living?
Hey, how we doing?
Good, man. I'm here with Coy. Say what's up, Jack?
Jack, what's up, man?
Hey, how we doing, Coy?
Good.
Man, Jack, I wanted to call you. How you been, though?
Good, man. Everything's good, man.
Chilling?
Yeah, busy working. You know how it is.
Yeah, I know. Hustle don't stop. Question of the day is find yourself again. Okay. Let me ask you this. After one of your hardest breakups.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. I don't want to assume or anything. But let me ask you this. How long did it take you to find yourself again? I feel like a lot of times people don't talk about how much you lose of yourself in a relationship to when, if it doesn't work out, you going back into finding yourself. How long did that take?
Man, I think it varies on a lot of people, but I mean, for me, I would say a couple months, because you're still going through that heartbreak. You still thinking about, what did I do wrong? What did she do wrong? What did we do wrong? What could have happened to make the relationship work? What could have helped, progress the good parts that we had at the beginning, and why did it ended up over here? So I would say for me a couple months, because it's, the first couple weeks, it's like, man, you're contemplating, see what's going on with the relationship, what's going on with life. And then afterwards, it's like, all right, what do I do to get myself better? What do I need to do to get myself back on my feet again, to where, do I put my money first? Do I put my health first? Do I put, family first? Things like that. And then once some goes through, that ball gets rolling, and then hopefully everything falls into place, and, and sky's the limit after that.
Would you say like 90 days? You say 60?
Yeah, should be. Yeah, should be. I mean, more than that, then, I would say that was a deep gash in the wound type of thing. But I mean, I would say, just about 60 to 90, but if it's a relationship that's longer than that, then I could understand why other people would last longer. It takes so much time.
Shit, mine took me a year.
Oh man.
Yeah, I guess it's one of those silent things that you go through that nobody really knows, though, too. And it's like, you gotta kind of retrain the mind and find yourself and realize, like, just value and I guess new path, not old path, but new path and same path, all kind of look like, they all kind of blend together.
Yeah, they do. It seems like it.
What did you do? What helped you?
Always try to look at the positive out of everything, in anything, in situations in life, if you have a financial situation, you have a health situation, a family situation, always try to find the positive out of everything, because like they say out there, everything happens for a reason, and it's always a positive reason. So the man upstairs has a plan for you, follow that path.
Talk to him now.
Follow that path.
Absolutely. I always say it's one of those things where it's a hard thing. Like, and mind you too, I always think about it too. It's like, I've been with a couple of my friends through their breakup, and it's like, I've been the guy where I was like, I've been the guy that they called at 2 a.m., but I've also been the guy that took them to the strip club. I mean, I've always been, I've been, I'm people will say I'm the phone number that you memorize, because usually I'll always pick up.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think everybody needs somebody to talk to that nobody knows about.
Yeah, exactly. That safety net, because that's what's bringing us insane, man. That's what's keeping us sane, because we always need that person who like bring us back to earth, because we're falling into a pit, and we're trying to try to grab a root or try to grab a branch or something to hold on, and hopefully that strong branch is strong enough to where we hold on, and we're like, all right, now we start climbing up and looking up, because I mean, we always got to put our heads up regardless of any situation, because I mean, life is beautiful and we got to move forward, man. We just got to keep grinding it out regardless, man.
Let me ask you this. Okay, your best friend, he just got out of a serious relationship, heartbroken. He feels like he's lost. What would you tell him?
First, stay strong. Keep your head up. There's plenty of things and opportunities that he didn't have before. Now he has. So situations where he was not allowed to go to a concert or a football game or things like that, to where he wasn't allowed to. And guess what? Now he has that freedom that he doesn't have to worry about somebody nagging on him, somebody, putting him down, somebody like, no, he's waiting for something to where life is going to happen to where, hey, let's go out and do this. You know what? Yeah, I can. I don't have to worry about it or asking permission or, hey, I got to check in with somebody, hey, to do this activity or this event or something that this only happens once in a lifetime. Life only happens once, and enjoy that, because, there's so much.
Hey, you and B, I don't know, y'all two, y'all motherfuckers. Man, go ahead. My bad. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. No, and that's what I'm saying. Like, life is beautiful. You enjoy it as much as you can because you only live it once, and there's so many things out there that you just got to take the opportunity and go for it, man. Because it only happens, and then you're gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna look back and be like, hey, man, you know what? I'm glad I did that. You know what? I'm glad this happened because if it wasn't for that breakup, I wouldn't have seen this person live. If it wasn't for that breakup, I wouldn't have enjoyed that awesome beer or that cocktail I never had.
Yep.
If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met this beautiful person, you know, or this friend that I had a crush on, you know, back in the day, and all of a sudden now it's not working out and things like that. So opportunities come, you know, in a bunch. So you grab life by the horns and ride that bull, man.
Hell yeah. I like that.
One door close,
next door opens. The door has to close before the other one can open.
Maybe multiple doors open.
Coy.
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah.
Don't do that, Coy. don't do that, Coy. Don't do that, Coy. One door at a time, please. All right, man. We appreciate you, my guy. I'm gonna hit you up later. I'm gonna hit you up later because we want to do something.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I got to stop by the studio and hang out with you guys.
Yeah. But besides that, we got All right, I'll talk to Coy off air. We'll figure something out. All right, my boy.
Later, Joe.
All right, thank you guys. Later, Coy. All right, one.
Yeah, I like that.
Let me ask you this: does the length of the time matter that you were with somebody? Let's say. Come on, give me a second. What if you're with somebody for a couple of years and it's just one of those blah relationships, and then it just ends, and you're like, I'm good the next day because I wanted this. Versus,
Go ahead.
you're with somebody for a couple of months and you're like, you know what? I think she's the one, and then she does something, cheats, and you're just devastated.
I'll tell you, I've been on both sides of those.
Okay,
this is me speaking honest and transparent. I think the longer relationship was easier to get over. And maybe because you both start checking out at the same time. And you guys are both trying to hold on to something that's not even there anymore. Versus a relationship I was in and it wasn't as long of a time. And it was like that. It took, like I told him, it took me a year to get back to me. Yeah, it took me a year, bro. Like, the internal battles that people will have with themselves that nobody knows about is insane. And nobody can get you through it. It's one of those things that the battle has to be fought. Or not even battle, you got to just sit alone with yourself until, and trust me when I tell you, and people don't understand this. And it took me 40 some odd years to realize it, that be happy alone first before you ever get into a relationship. Because you know the value of your peace. I don't think people really truly understand the value and happiness of being at peace by yourself.
Right.
You're less likely to put up with shit. I promise. No. I promise you.
Yeah.
I promise you. But sometimes you have to go through so many certain things in order to understand that. And I guess that's the best way I could put it. Yeah.
All right.
Let's hop into another one. Who am I calling? Let's call my sister real quick.
Hey.
Hey, what are you up to?
Nothing, just staying out of this nice warm weather.
See, Coy, she's up to nothing now. Coy, say hi to my sister. Nina, say hi to Coy.
What's going on?
Hey, Coy.
See, I like that one. I like that. This is totally respectful, Coy. Very respectful.
It's always respectful.
Hey,
Thank you.
Anyway, back to regularly scheduled program. Nina, question of the day is about finding yourself again.
Mm-hmm.
And this is after a breakup. I guess my question to you is, I told somewhat of a story that it took me kind of a year to find myself again after a breakup. How long did it take you?
I think it been different with every person I've been with.
Mm-hmm.
The last relationship before last, it was like maybe a year and a half. And then this last one was like a few months.
A few months. She said, I'm out of here. Oh, the single ladies.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, everybody has been with you through your relationships.
Yeah, it's pretty. When I think about it,
you don't realize it, but everybody has been with you through almost all, not all your relationships, but all, since we started the podcast. Yeah, the last few relationships. Let me ask you this: what helped?
Oh, you know what? What helped?
Yeah, I guess. Let me tell you the reason why I'm asking. I think a lot of women are afraid of breaking up or detaching themselves in a relationship that is unwanted or unnecessary because they don't know who they are without that person. And, they don't know where to find themselves again because it's been so long since they've been themselves.
Wow.
So I guess my question to you is like, what helped you find yourself again?
So I feel like, definitely friends and family and a lot of like soul searching, definitely being out.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely being out.
Why?
And, because being at home for me it's still like, I'm not a homebody, period.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my goodness, our parents aren't homebodies, so it just makes sense to me. But because getting like fresh air, being around people, and I'm a big people person, so I like the it's fun, it's the energy. As long as you surround yourself with good people, and I've been very fortunate to have amazing people in my life, and for those who may not feel like they do, I've seen and heard that this day and age, people don't know how to have a conversation or go hang out necessarily by themselves. And that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, today I'm going to try just going to Corner Bakery and eating outside, right?
Oh, wow.
Like, that's super new to me.
Yeah.
And it was refreshing. And no one's looking at you thinking you're weird. That's all in your head. It's like, you just, like, being outside is great. It's great. And I would tell a person who is going through, kind of being scared to stay in that relationship.
Yeah.
Don't be scared to stay in the relationship. Be afraid about the person that you will always be if you stay in that relationship.
Talk that talk.
Yeah.
Be afraid of the person you have become. Yeah, because you start to. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, my biggest thing was I don't ever want to do a shoulda, woulda, coulda, but didn't. And I did that once, and that was because I didn't go to Mexico City, but there's still Mexico City. But everything else I've done without, and I just, you cannot sit there and worry about what other people think. And you can do it. With my last relationship, I think people just think that it's very easy for me to be like, oh, because I hear it all the time, like, it's so easy. No, it's not. I just don't have time to sit there and dwell, because guess what? Time is of the essence. Facts. And I'm not wasting time. And I sure as hell am not going to allow him to take any more time that he's already taken away from me. So, no. And I mean, the situation I was put in, I could have gotten evicted, all that, but you figure it out. And that people don't know that part. And I think they just like,
they don't.
Yeah. I got put in a really shitty situation. Lease, all that, only 3 days in to be like, okay, be a bitch ass and then, walk away scot-free, where I'm left with a hefty bill, but I figured it out. I was going to figure it out anyways.
Yep.
I was going to figure it out, but I tell people, you believe in God, higher power, source.
Go ahead.
Something said, because I remember, I'll never forget reading this long thesis of a text message, and God said, girl, here, this is your opportunity. And it, like, I was not sad anymore. It was a crazy feeling. No longer sad. And I was like, this isn't going to work.
Yeah. Sit.
That was what I said. It's not going to work.
Went with it.
Not going to sit there. Not going to go back and forth. Nope. You're not going to try to get into my life.
Nope.
Like, we left for a reason. We're not in our 20s.
Yep.
Nor in our 30s.
Yep. I told Coy 2025, a couple things I'm not doing. Going back and forth, above and beyond. A couple things I'm just not doing. Yeah. You don't. Mm-hmm. And things, I do feel like when people are like, oh, like in your 40s, I mean, for me, it's been great because I don't put up with a lot of things. And I'm like, I wish this part of me was in my 20s. And not that I dwell on the past, but, could have been even more epic than what it was. It could have got in my bag. But
been twirling around the world.
Exactly. I mean, still getting in it.
Yeah. But no one, I'll leave with this. There's too many people that might hear, like however many years you've been with the person is however many years that you need to stay single, finding yourself. No, you choose when, what time, and how you want to move through this small little season of your life.
I think the important thing is having good people around you after.
But you got to realize that. Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
Here's the thing: when you're talking about losing yourself, some people get in relationships and they lose themselves.
Yeah,
they don't lose yourself means. You kind of forgot who you are. You lose your friends, your family, maybe because of this relationship. Yeah. And then when you get out of it, they might not be quote unquote there for you after. So it's like on you to figure out how long it's going to take to quote unquote find yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, it will, but it also is, hey, friends are chosen. You can go and make new friends because people are out there really, truly wanting friendships and relationships. Yep. It's just, are you going to be willing to say the first hi? That is all. That is it. There are so many meetups that are like, people are like, I like, these are corny. Oh, well, guess what? You can meet up with anybody in a group, in a club, whatnot. And guess what? That corniness, you met one friend. That one friend has another friend. And guess here's your chosen family. Is getting out of your head. And when they say smell the roses, it's really smelling the roses. Because right now, that's a first world problem. It's first world problem because they're dark, like
it's dark clouds everywhere.
Turn on the news, you'll be like, woo, and that's what I did too. Like, woo, like
I ain't even gonna lie to
life
you.
Isn't that bad.
I pulled a muscle in my back, and I was like, nothing mattered but getting my back.
Right,
like, nothing mattered. Like no relationship, no.
All
nothing.
you young people out there listening, you'll find this.
Hey, can I tell you real quick? I got a minute or two. You want to know? You want to know when you old? As a man, you want to know when you old?
When they hit you with that.
No, when you go shopping and you take your time. You at the grocery store and you actually looking at the ingredients. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm that. Like, I was at the grocery store maybe 2 days ago and I'm like, I'm that old now.
When you're in the produce section.
Because of not even that, I parked in the back and then I grabbed the cart and I was just going through the produce section. Why was I looking at the fruit? Like,
when you look at the produce when you're older. I never looked at the produce when I'm young. I'll let my mom handle that shit. Like,
now I'm over here looking at the orange and making sure I got 6 good oranges in that bag.
3 pounds for $1. Okay.
I was like, damn, here I am, huh? Here I am.
You're deciding, do I want the organic parsley or the regular
Dag, I'm over here letting someone go before me. I got all day. Damn it. No.
Back then it was like, should I go True Religion jeans or Sevens jeans?
Now I'm over here touching the fruit and looking what the coupon what's on sale. Jesus. My times have changed. All right, Nina, we appreciate you. I'll hit you up later.
Okay,
Bye. Damn, Coy.
Just being in the produce section, period, makes you old.
All right, let's go one more. Let's call Miss K. Where is she at? Perfect. Here we go.
Hello.
Miss K, I gotta update your profile picture. I'm going to tell you. I hate to say that on air, but I gotta update my profile picture of you.
I really want to see what it is first, and then I'll send you a new one.
I'm over here, and I'm like, this idiot. Why do I look like?
You're probably like catfish. Not a cake, catfish.
Oh my gosh! All right, Miss K, I am here with Coy. Coy, say what's up, Miss K.
Miss K, what's going on?
Living the dream. How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
All right, Miss K. Question of the day. Great person to call. Great person to ask. I just talked to my sister too, and she said some crazy shit too, and it was great. My question to you is, how long did it take for you to find yourself after a breakup?
I feel like each breakup is like so different.
Okay.
And I feel like, so the breakup that I had was like almost 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I had the most transformation, and it literally wasn't until probably when I moved out of state, so 2 years ago, is when I really, truly started feeling like myself.
Wow.
But there was a lot of like trauma and like toxic, crazy stuff in that relationship.
Yep.
And they say like psychologically, just a normal relationship, it takes you like 2 years to get over. So mine was like almost 5.
Okay. No, that's fair. But I don't want you to shortchange that. Because of the fact that I feel like, and I don't want you, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like a lot of women are in toxic, tumultuous relationships.
Because they're so scared to just be like alone or like look at themselves and not be like.
Yep. I don't know who this person is anymore.
So many females today, and I will say it, and this is probably such an unpopular opinion, so many females today do not self-reflect to be like, how do I need to check myself? Because it's not always the dude. Like a lot of females that I know, like say like that I work with or like that I'm in contact with, they do a lot of toxic things, and I just look at them and I'm like, do you hear yourself? Damn. Like, but it's so many times they just don't either have the tools or they just don't want to genuinely believe that like, hey, what am I contributing to this? But then the last dude that I just dated, who we broke up with, like, I broke up in February, I think. Yep. I'm pretty much in a good place to where I've, like, started dating again, and I'm, like, out there. And I think it's because I took the time to fully feel, and because there were times I called you and I texted you, like, there were times where I, like, truly just let myself feel it.
Yeah.
And I think the sooner you let yourself like go through all of those emotions of like grief, basically, then the sooner you can just pick yourself up, because you don't want to stay there and like move on. And so I was like, for so long, somebody who would just constantly be in like the what ifs and like, well, what if, like just holding myself back to not move forward.
Yeah.
And it's hard to let go of somebody you like truly cared about, but there just comes a time and place where I just had to look at myself and be like, even if he were to come back, like, is this really what I want? And like, you and I had this conversation where I was just like, I was so upset with myself, but I was just like, now I know, like, and you had such a good point, and it has stuck with me of like, I can't expect to be perfect in these breakups or in this dating and all of that. Like, I have to expect to have mistakes.
Yeah.
And give myself grace. And it's like,
Yeah.
for so long, I have not. So
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing is just learning to give yourself grace and learning that, like, at least for myself, like, I'm human.
Yeah.
I
100%.
have feelings. I'm not a freaking robot. Like, that's life.
I just think I always tell people, I was like, you think you're making fun of me? You should hear the shit I say about myself to myself.
Literally.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
I called him.
Oh.
I did not make a good. Oh my gosh, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I called him, and it was not like I was so mad. Like, I was sad. I was so disappointed in myself, and I think that's the first time that I've truly like stopped and reflected and be like, oh my God, it's not even about this dude. Like, I am so disappointed in myself right now.
Yeah. Yeah, but what did I tell you?
And you're not to expect perfection. And now also, like, say 6 months down the road, if I'm dating somebody and this dude comes around, like, I will not have the what ifs. I won't have the wonder. Like, and that was my confirmation. I needed it.
Yeah, got it.
So,
Got it.
yes.
No more what ifs. Let me ask you this. What would you tell a woman that's coming to you and it's like, look, I just got out of a relationship. I lost myself. I don't even know where to find myself. Like, what do you think?
The number one thing that I literally tell my friends, and I've always been one to, like, in my 20s and stuff, be like, oh my God, that doesn't even work. Journal. And I feel like because in technology today, like, you're so quick to, like, send that text, send that message, send that DM.
Yep.
No, like, sit in that moment when you're feeling what you want to feel and send that message. Type out, like, journal. If you want to, like, type it out in your notes app, type it out, but don't send it to that person. Like, get it out, journal it, write it, and then go back when you're, like, missing said person or conflicted and be like, wow, look at how far I've come. Because that, to me, has been, like, a game changer. And it's such, like, a self-reflection tool to be like, when you really don't think you've gotten far or, like, progressed, like, wow. Yeah. I literally didn't think I was, like, going to be okay. And now, look at me. So, yeah.
Bang. Yeah, you can't because you're not even yourself. You're a whole new person.
No.
100%.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Love it. All right. Well, I appreciate the call. Well said.
Of course. Thank you.
I'll text you later. We need to catch up.
I know. Seriously.
All right.
Bye. All right. Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of see but not see, and you don't understand, but you sometimes you got to give opportunity and grace, and that's where it kind of comes from. Yeah, man. If anybody were to ask me, I'd just say, sit with yourself, go for a run, and go in the gym, because you're gonna feel like you want to destroy something. Just go destroy yourself in the gym.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. The gym is the hardest place to get to. Best feeling when you leave.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
the hard will always become the hard. It's better to have hard first than easy later, than easy first and hard later.
That holds true even if we're not even talking about a breakup.
Yeah,
like
no.
Gym, just
100%.
getting there, then once you leave, you're like, I'm glad
I went.
Yeah.
The easiest thing is to, kill a 6-pack and some margaritas, right? But that next morning, that's the struggle. That's the hard. Yeah. That next morning, that hangover is that struggle and that hard.
But that's why having a good support system matters too.
Yeah, 100%.
It's because if you never lost yourself in a relationship, you will always still have your friends and stuff after
100%.
that take care of you.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people, I think that's what helped. Like, I still stayed, I still reminded myself to stay grounded with my friends and family. Because I always tell people, in the event it doesn't work out, who has time in the books? Family and friends.
Because, think about the people that moved somewhere with that person and they don't have any support system around, and then things turn out bad.
Yeah.
They have nobody.
Yeah. 100%.
And it's like, you have maybe the people you're working with and your newer friends, but maybe not the same,
No.
Depends. The situation's different.
Yeah, let's get up out of here. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for listening, whether you listen to it on Google Play, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Pandora, YouTube, Audible, or you downloaded that Men Don't Know podcast app. I can't thank y'all enough. Merch store is open as always. Hit me up on Instagram at Men Don't Know, Twitter at Men Don't Know 1. Shoot me an email, Chris at mendontknow.com, or hop on the mendontknow.com website. Shoot me a message. Quote my guy. We are out.
How many pictures are on Yelp? Pull up all these pictures and be like, oh, that's the dessert you're eating? All right, Michelle. That's the candle? Okay, that's the same candle. I know where that.
45 minutes to an hour.
45 minutes to an hour. Wait, can you run that long? No offense.
That's how I got married, dog. You know, my first date, bro.
Was that what you did?
Yeah, my first date with her.
Look at
I think a guy's more comfortable being alone than a girl, but I mean, that's a whole
you
nother
think so?
subject.